solar water heating system. So basically here already as I mentioned that where we doesn't use any pumps to circulate water between your collector and the storage tank, where naturally it will happen. So in these cases, most of the applications like your households, the water pressures will be used to circulate water through the collector and storage tank. And that's the reason you might observe that your tanks will be water tank will be in the higher point, right, on the roof of your building, and somewhere the collectors will be in the lower part so that the natural flow can happen easily. Okay, but one drawback here, the efficiency of this system is less compared to my active system. Okay, and once again the same parameters should be taken care as in the active system we have seen. So where south facing non-shaded location should be there, and once again the collector tilt angle should be such a way that to our latitude angle should be done. So that care should be taken when installing your passive water heating system also. Okay, and your storage tank and the collector are combined in these cases. Sometimes the storage tank and collector are combined. So in this diagram you can see that when I go for explanation of this I will explain there. Okay, there are two types of passive here, that is a batch and thermo system. So in the two cases you can see the different type. So in the first case where we may come across the solar tank and the collector combined very closely, some in the roof structure only. Okay, so that we can accommodate extra weight on a passive system. So that is what the passive system overall. So coming to the types of passive system here, the first one is your batch type. So here it's a very simple and very commonly used solar heating system, which is shown in the diagram. So where we never use a collectors here, we doesn't have any collectors. So instead of what happens, we make use of a one or two metal tanks. So these tanks are the name it is written over the tank. So it could be made up of a metal tanks, which will be painted with a black observer coating, and which will be placed in an insulated box. So and that entire thing is covered in the insulated box, which is shown there. Okay, so that whatever the heat is going to absorb by the black paint, it can be stored within the insulated box so that I can make use of the heat present over there. Okay, and one more thing here, the we doesn't have any like a glass or plastic cover will be there where the sunlight can strike easily. So sometimes we may have a glazing also, sometimes unglazing also. Right now the diagram which is shown in the batch, which has a glazing which is covered with a glass or a plastic cover. So this batch system storage tank is a collector as well as. You can see that. So even though we are saying a collector which is collecting a solar radiation, but inside it is present in a way of a tank. Already mentioned it is a metal tank which will be coated with a black painting observer. So it acts as a tank also. So this system will be used where we require a house pressure to move a water through the system. So just I mentioned placing your tank in somewhere in the height position and your collector in somewhere in the other position so that the natural pressure can be created. So here whenever the solar radiation falls on the tank, the hot water, so that will go flow to the conventional water heater tank where it is present. So where we may make use of some auxiliary system also, the conventional water heater system, where the hot water will flow there, and I can make use of that hot water will be distributed throughout the your house, and the cold water will be flowing to the tank continuously, so that the hot water can flow outside easily without using any pumps here. The natural flow of hot water will be done as well as a cold water in the tank here. And the second type, your thermo system. So here we have something little bit of different compared to that one. We make use of a solar collector here because I'm talking about a thermo system here. I make use of a solar collector, not a tank, and I have a heat exchanger where you can see I make use of a expansion tank also, hot water there, and cool water can be inlet over there, and heat exchanger also can be taken care. It is similar to the previous thing which we are discussing in active. The diagram remains same. Only thing, avoiding my water pumps over there. So a water pump is avoided, and there is no sensors, and there is no controllers are used in this system. Okay. So this type of system uses once again a flat plate solar collector. So almost all many application we make use of a flat plate solar collector. So we already seen in the previous classes different type of flat plate collectors. Among them, anyone could be used for this kind of application. And separate storage tank has to be maintained at a higher location. So I need to maintain a separate water tank at a very high location. So as I already mentioned, so natural flow can happen. This collector is similar to that used in a active system. The collector remains same apart from only water pump. The storage tank located above the collector receives heat, water coming from the top of the collector into the top of a storage tank. So hot water will flow into the top of a tank, and the cold water will be in the below, so that it can pass to the solar collector naturally. This storage tank may be or may not use heat exchanger sometime, the chances of having both the cases. And the best way to use this indirect system, which we employ heat exchanger system. If we use a heat exchanger, then even though the temperature is not available from the solar radiation, I can make use of a additional arrangement. So if you make a combination of that, then the efficiency could be higher side. Okay, and one more thing we should take care here. So if there is a case of anti-freezing can be happen, the freezing in the solar collector can happen because it's a natural flowing. There is no pump. The water may be stagnant in the pipes or in the collector or somewhere else. So for that reason, we should take care. Anti-freezing system should be taken care, so that I can eliminate freeze up can wherever the freezing can happen within the system, because of it's a natural flow of water. So there is chances of happening the freezing. We should avoid that thing also. And coming to the application of solar watering system, application of a solar water heating system. So these are some industrial application of solar water heating system, where we make use in hotels for bathing, as well as for kitchen for cooking. A steam water will be required, and washing and laundry is application. So these are some application where we use in hotels, and in dairies like ghee production, cleaning, and any other system, we make use of this kind of water heating system. And textiles also, for bleaching and boiling your textiles with a high temperature, high steam over there, and printing a system, or drying system, or curing system, or aging and finishing. So these are the where applications in a textile industries. And somewhere we make use this kind of application we in the thread mills also. So where the threads will be manufactured in the industry, we make use over there also. And some other application like it could be your electro painting, and your pumps, paper industries, etc., chemical industries. Okay, so there are many applications where we make use of a solar water heating system.